Ready. Play.
He's probably on track to make a quarterfinal, semifinal at least at Roland Garros right now.
Very draw dependent still, but is he gonna be in the top 8 of seeds?
Yes, so this guarantees him a top 8 seed.
Yeah, that should make
That'll
things
help.
significantly easier. And Alcaraz Musetti now. So 5-1 for Carlos, the head-to-head. One pretty high-profile match that he lost. That was the 2022 Hamburg final. Recently, we had them battling in Monte Carlo, so he's one of the players to beat Lorenzo this clay season. And it was, well, I mean, it was one good set from Musetti, and then unfortunately, physically, he was just not able to continue after all these insane battles he was playing. Kind of coming back to my point that, the 1 week 1000s are actually tougher sometimes. Anyway, that's
I
not
mean, he also
important
just
right
had
now.
no rest, dude. Like he had 10 hours of rest between his match with Alex,
Very
and
little rest, definitely. I
like
mean, some
every
of that
match it was like
he
4
brought to
hours.
himself. He
Yeah.
didn't need to lose all these 1-6 opening sets. But it is what it is. Anyway, we didn't really get to see that much in full flight. When we do see it, typically Alcaraz is just the player with easier weapons, easier ways to win points. Nonetheless, they're both magicians. They both had so much shot making potential, so much creativity in their games. So if Lorenzo can kind of get him into a battle like this, it becomes a lot more even. So it's always good to watch this rivalry, even if, let's say, 80% of the time it's not the most competitive. However, in Rome, why not?
In Rome, I see this being quite competitive, to be honest. Like because they're both just so good at so many different things in terms of their artistic repertoire, and with the crowd egging Musetti on, and just like kind of how he's been hitting his forehand as well. Like that's one thing I didn't talk about. He had so many forehands in the upper speeds of like 100 plus miles per hour in this match, and just like inside out, the angles that he's able to create. Obviously, it'll be different against Carlos because Carlos will is just much more attacking than Zverev. But at the same time, I mean, if Carlos has a few debts, like it's not going to take much for Musetti to get into this one. So honestly, I don't see it being like, let's say, their RG match in 2023, or like the third set of Monte Carlo. Like I feel like these sets will be pretty competitive. It'll be compelling. It'll be like their challenger match that they played. That
Which is not on the screen right now.
yes,
So please, Trieste Challenger 2020. Thank you. Second best match of the 2020 Challenger season. The first one was Monteiro beating Cecchinato in Punta del Este in the final. At least that's according to my 2020 best Challenger matches of the season list, which was actually pretty comprehensive because at the time we only had about 50 events due to COVID. Yes. So that's obviously I had to talk about that. I do think in Rome it's a decent chance. Should be a match where like every single point has to be won, a few times, and you basically have so much variability that the easier weapons, the fact that the Carlos forehand is just by far the biggest shot on the court, it doesn't necessarily have to mean all that much. It will mean that it's a bit easier, a bit more pleasant for him to play, I suppose. But Lorenzo has so much ability to just like mix it up and provide a massive curveball that who knows. I do think losing to Musetti here for Alcaraz would not be a tragedy. He would probably still be the favorite for Roland Garros if Sinner doesn't win this event in emphatic fashion. But of course, there's also the chance of Alcaraz and Sinner just clashing in the final, which would be amazing.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.